Live from KSAT12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
We begin tonight with a live look at radar. It has been a quiet night weather-wise so far here in San Antonio, but you see strong storms there are moving into our western counties. Meteorologist Katie Blake is already tracking those storms, and she'll be along in a few minutes to let us know when they might make their way to San Antonio.
Meanwhile, San Antonio health officials confirmed they are investigating another confirmed travel-related case of COVID-19 here in Bexar County. We're told the patient recently traveled to Spain. This brings the total number of confirmed travel-related cases in San Antonio to 3.
In addition, a Grand Princess cruise ship passenger under quarantine at JBSA Lackland tested positive yesterday and is being treated at a Texas healthcare facility, but they have not said where. We're also hearing tonight a USAA employee here in San Antonio has also tested positive for the virus. According to USAA, the employee has not been on the campus since March 6th and is currently being treated outside of Texas. None of the employees who had previous exposure to that person have shown any symptoms, but are preventatively under self-quarantine until March 21st.
Meanwhile, 56 COVID-19 cases have been confirmed across the state of Texas. That's according to the Texas Department of State Health Services. That's 5 more cases just since yesterday. The areas with the highest numbers include Harris County, Fort Bend County, and Dallas County.
And around the United States, there are now more than 3,000 cases of coronavirus. As of this afternoon, there were at least 3,130 cases across 49 states, Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and Washington, D.C. That is according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. At last check, at least 62 people have died. Airports around the country packed with people trying to make it back home in light of the Trump administration's ban on travel from European countries because of dealing with the coronavirus.
However, here in San Antonio, travel is moving smoothly. Sources say part of that reason is that the San Antonio International Airport does not have direct flights from any international locations other than Mexico.
The Night Team's Japhanie Gray spoke with travelers today coming to and from the city who described their experiences and shared thoughts on how the crisis is impacting their daily lives.
Are you at all concerned about what's going on right now?
Yeah, actually I am.
I'm not concerned. I think it's overly broadcast.
My thing is just try to get in and get out.
Travelers at the San Antonio International Airport had somewhat mixed emotions about how the coronavirus pandemic is impacting transportation around the country. Jeanette Torres says she has one main rule of thumb for her young son as they head back to Puerto Rico.
Keep his mask on.
Haley Eckert just got back to San Antonio from St. Louis.
I was walking around and everyone had masks on, everyone. There was a woman sitting next to me. She had like a mask on and she had gloves on and she did not put her tray table down. She did not touch anything.
We caught up with Keywan Jackson as he was catching a flight back to Atlanta, which is known for their busy airport. He says he's uncertain what to think.
I'm confused on whether it's hype or if it's not, but I know for a fact that I don't think I've ever in my lifetime ever seen something get to the point where it's shutting down the NBA and stuff like that.
Jay Eckert says his biggest disappointment is getting back and seeing the empty aisles and long lines at supermarkets and grocery stores.
It scares me for if something ever really does happen, the rich are going to take everything, and we're all, if you're going to be stuck, if you don't have it, you don't have it. We're not helping each other out, and that's a shame.
He says he is more concerned about elderly shoppers.
It's just sad. We should take care of our older people like we've always been taught to, but for some reason, it's Black Friday every day right now, and it's just out of control, and it's just not right.
They say they hope moving forward, people would use common sense while living a normal life.
Just do everything you're supposed to do to stay sanitary for the most part.
Take advantage of the deals and wash your hands.
Now, as you saw in the video, there are several signs posted throughout the airport reminding travelers to be mindful about the spread of germs. But check this out, Tim McCorney. The TSA just released that they're allowing passengers 4 times more hand sanitizers to come through security. That's 12 times or 12 ounces bottles to go in your carry-on bag. Now, just to give you guys a perspective, this right here, 1 ounce, okay? We have an 8-ounce bottle right here, and of course, the one and only 12 ounce. Of course, as you can tell, the Germex has been used up because people at the station are taking note of that policy. But again, it is going to be in place indefinitely. Okay. I also want to note that, of course, I know you saw Miss Jeanette wearing a mask on TV, but she has lupus. But the World Health Organization did say that a mask is not required, especially if you're healthy. But if you're healthy, you can still wear a mask. Just make sure you wash your hands frequently, or if you're caring for someone with coronavirus symptoms, or if you yourself are sneezing and coughing.
No need to snatch them up. People need them if they are sick.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Japhanie.
The San Antonio Military Health System and Joint Base San Antonio-Lackland taking extra precautions against COVID-19.
Yeah, we learned today active military and family members who are experiencing symptoms possibly related to the virus will be screened, but not inside the facilities. Instead, in triage tents.
The night team's Stephen Cavazos now with the changes health officials are making to protect their patients and staff.
Triage tents set up at 4 locations: Wilford Hall, Randolph Clinic, Reed Clinic, and Brooke Army Medical Center. The San Antonio Military Health System and Joint Base San Antonio-Lackland announcing the tents will serve as screening locations. One of those tents seen at BAMC earlier today. A spokesperson for the hospital confirmed the tents will be operational if necessary. More than 240,000 beneficiaries can take advantage of the screenings, which are not open to the general public. Still, those beneficiaries are urged to call a 24/7 nurse advice line before coming to one of the screening locations. That way, a healthcare professional can determine the best option. Officials say they are making sure the safety of patients and staff remains a top priority. As of right now, it's still unclear what will happen to a military member who tests positive for the virus. A BAMC spokesperson said more information is expected to be released tomorrow. Now, as an extra precaution, BAMC also announced that they will be delaying elective surgeries. This will help stop the spread of infectious diseases, that is. Now, this will also allow healthcare professionals to be ready to assist for a possible increased need for acute patient care. We'll have more on the story at KSAT12. And for now, reporting live, Stephen Cavazos, KSAT12 News. Tim, Courtney?
Keep in mind, we didn't have an earthquake. We didn't have a hurricane. We still have lights. We still have water. And the supply chain will still move cargo. But just to lighten it, just a little bit, I think we all have enough toilet paper.
Hays County officials are reminding people that the local state of disaster is in place to help combat the outbreak, not to increase panic. And I think he said it well. The county's first presumptive positive patient has been treated and is being self-quarantined at home.
With disaster declarations in place across the country, some positive news as a clinical trial is set to begin for a vaccine designed to protect against COVID-19. The first participant in the trial will receive the experimental vaccine tomorrow, according to a government official speaking on the condition of anonymity. The official also revealed the National Institutes of Health is funding that trial, which is taking place at a research institute in Seattle. Public health officials have said it will take a year to 18 months to fully validate any potential vaccine. In the meantime, the CDC says social distancing and good hygiene practices remain the best way to keep yourself healthy.
I know this is a lot of information, but this one's important. The president today is reminding all Americans to stop hoarding groceries and other supplies. After speaking with leading grocery chain executives, the president assured Americans that grocers would remain open and that the supply chain remained healthy. Vice President Mike Pence also urging Americans to only buy the groceries they need for the week ahead.
Back here at home, the Battle of Flowers will happen in 2020. Organizers announcing today the annual parade will move to November to coincide with the changed Fiesta date. Fiesta officials announced on Friday the citywide party will be held November 5th through the 15th. These changes, a way to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Now, the Battle of Flowers Band Festival will also be held in November. Organizers say the parade is important to nonprofits, participants, and families.
The Battle of Flowers did not step up, we would certainly not be serving our community. Let's face it, we are where Fiesta began, and we could not abandon that fact.
The decision to change the date of Fiesta comes as the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommended today organizations either cancel or postpone events, which expect more than 50 attendees for the next 8 weeks.
Turning to other local headlines now, a man is in the hospital after being stabbed at a convenience store on his way to work. It happened on the east side on North Hackberry. Police were called out around 8 p.m. and when they got there, they found the victim with a stab wound in his side. He was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. No information is known right now about the suspect, and police say the victim is not cooperating. Police are hoping surveillance video will lead to an arrest.
A woman is dead after being hit by a vehicle while walking on the I-35 frontage road over on the northeast side. That incident happened around 3 a.m. this morning on I-35 and Weidner Road. San Antonio police say it was a hit and run, and a passerby who later saw the woman on the side of the road called police. Paramedics attempted to revive her, but they were unsuccessful and she was pronounced dead at the scene.
Turning now to the race for the presidency, Joe Biden says if he's the Democratic nominee, a woman will be his running mate.
Bernie Sanders says he is also likely to pick a woman as a running mate. The contenders made these comments during tonight's Democratic debate, which was also dominated by coronavirus.
Mary Maloney has more from Washington.
Amid the coronavirus pandemic, Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders participated in an unconventional debate. Instead of shaking hands, they bumped elbows and attempted to prove their leadership qualities to a country staring down a crisis.
This is like a war. And in a war, you do whatever is needed to be done to take care of your people.
In the midst of this crisis, we have got to act in an unprecedented way.
Due to coronavirus concerns, the debate moved from Phoenix to a studio in Washington, D.C. with no audience. The podium stood at least 6 feet away, adhering to social distancing guidelines. Issues related to the virus dominated the debate.
As a result of the virus here, the coronavirus, what we have got to do also is understand the fragility of the economy and how unjust and unfair it is that so few have so much and so many have so little.
People are looking for results, not a revolution.
This is a pivotal point in the race for president. Sanders hopes to keep his progressive message at the top of mind.
We are the only major country on earth not to guarantee health care to all people.
It has nothing to do with Bernie's Medicare for all.
The dominant frontrunner, Biden, faces 2 challenges: bringing Sanders supporters to his camp and focusing on the man they all want to beat, President Donald Trump.
The existential threat to the United States of America is Donald Trump.
In Washington, I'm Mary Maloney,